What's up, guys? So I'm out here with the CVA Cascade 7 Rem Mag. I got some gel down range at 100 yards. You can see it sitting in the grass down there. So today I'm going to be testing out two different Hornady bullets. So I got the 162 ELD-X and the 162 ELD-M. These are the ELD-Ms here. These are the ELD-X. You can see the ELD-X does have a slightly bigger ballistic tip on it. If you look at them side by side there. So we're going to shoot these into gel. These are both doing 2,950 feet per second. Now I got some shoulder blades. This one I found in the woods. This one I took out of some stew that I made this year. I stuck the whole shoulder in the crock pot. So came out pretty nice and clean. They are slightly different sizes, but I'm going to put these in front of the gel just to see how the bullets perform. I'm going to aim for the thin spot here. Honestly, I don't think this is going to make much of a difference because they're pretty thin. You know, the big thing when you shoot a deer in the shoulder is if you hit this joint right here, you know, where the leg connects to this, it's like a solid chunk of bone that is not hollow. So that will make a bullet blow up. Hitting the shoulder blade, generally not, unless you hit this ridge dead on. But either way, it'll be interesting just to see how they do shooting through this. So let me get set up and take some shots. Alright guys, that 7 absolutely smacked these blocks. The sticks I had kind of under the shoulder blade are all over here. And the shoulder blade ended up this way. So I hit it right in that flat spot like I wanted. Actually, here's the chunk here where the bullet went through. So that went pretty far. Alright, so I had the block. Block was laying like this. Hit it right where I wanted there. Nice big wound channel, some fragmentation. Bullet went through here. And it looks like the bullet exited right here. Man, not having good luck catching bullets today. Alright, so I'm going to take the shot with the ELD-M first, and then I'm going to take another shot with the ELD-X so I can try to capture it. It really sucks that that did not get captured. The chances of finding stuff in this berm are very slim right now. Really got to clean up some of these weeds and stuff. So I'm going to shoot the ELD-X or the ELD-M through the shoulder blade, then I'll do another shot with the ELD-X. Alright, that ELD-M launched that block even further. Through that block like 5 feet. Shoulder blade is all the way over here. Again, perfectly through the thinner part like I wanted. Let's take a look at the gel. So I did flip the block around. Let me pick this up. I flipped the block around so the wound channels would be kind of going against each other. So the ELD-M is this one going this way, ELD-X going that way. ELD-M appears to be a little bit more explosive in the beginning, and we captured a bullet right there. Looks pretty mangled. Alright, so since this shoulder blade didn't completely shatter, I should be able to take another shot with the ELD-X through this shoulder blade. Hopefully I can capture it because I only got one more loaded up. Alright, so I forgot to set the slow-mo, but here's that second ELD-X shot. So this is how the block was. The first ELD-X was going this way, the ELD-M was going that way. The next ELD-X shot hit here in a clean portion of the gel, but it's just hard to see because it's dirty. When I get home and clean these up and get them in better lighting, I might be able to get a better look at the wound channel in here. But most importantly, we caught the bullet. So that's the ELD-X here. The ELD-M is here, so it looks like the ELD-X got about 6 inches more penetration. So let's get these home. I'll pull the bullets out and we can take some measurements. Alright guys, let's take a look at these gel blocks. So, first shot was the ELD-X, came through here. Then I flipped the block around, we shot the ELD-M. And then I took the second shot with the other ELD-X. I kept it in the same direction as the first ELD-X. It came through right down in there. So it's hard to tell. The easiest way to kind of check out these wound channels, there's just so many fragments. This top wound channel is from the 212 ELD-X and the 300 Win Mag when I was shooting at 300 yards. But anyway, the ELD-X, the first shot, exited here at about 21 inches, I would say. Almost right in line with the ELD-M. So the ELD-M stopped at 20.5 inches, and the second shot with the ELD-X stopped right at 28 inches, which is definitely impressive for the ELD-X, especially hitting that shoulder blade first. Now, I know in a real animal, you're not going to hit bone first. You know, you'd hit a little bit of muscle to get the bullet to mushroom, and then you would hit bone. So it would have been more realistic to have the shoulder blade inside the gel, but it would have just, once you shot it once, it would have been in pieces in the gel. It just kind of would have been a nightmare. So either way, it's kind of good to just see how it performs hitting something hard like that. So if I flip the blocks up like this, it might be a little bit easier to see the wound channel. So it seems like the ELD-M right in the middle here just kind of like let go of a whole bunch of fragments. Of course you can see my handprints on there, but well, it doesn't even look like it opened up on the shoulder blade. It still has the tiniest bit of a neck, where the ELD-X does not look like that. No, ELD-X does have that bigger ballistic tip. So let's pull these bullets out and take a better look at them. Alright, so we got our bullets out. The ELD-X here on the right, ELD-M on the left. You can see the ELD-X kind of maintained its shape a little bit better. And this bullet tracked straight through the gel, where the ELD-M was facing backwards in the gel. So the ELD-M we got 93.5, so I believe that means it lost 68.5 grains. And then ELD-X 102.5, so we lost 60 grains, or 60.5, so about 10 grains more weight retention on that ELD-X. Let's check out expanded diameter. So at the widest point right here, you're at point, if I can grab it, about 0.6. This way we got about 0.54, so great expansion. Let's see, ELD-M 0.51. See if we can get the widest part of the petals here. So about 6'3", 6'2". So very similar in expansion. But the biggest difference was the ELD-X got an extra 8 inches of penetration. So is that because of the extra mass that it maintained? Or is it because it, you know, went straight and tracked true through the gel, where the ELD-M kind of tumbled a little bit? It seemed like the ELD-X opened up quicker. But very similar in performance. On deer size game, you probably wouldn't notice a difference, but I would stick with the ELD-X personally. Alright guys, so my final thoughts on these bullets are they perform pretty similar. I'm sticking with the ELD-X for hunting. My only experience with ELD-X on game is the 212 out of my 300 Win Mag, and to date I've shot 7 deer. Well, I shot 5, my father shot 1, and my other friend shot 1, so 7. I was there, I witnessed the damage. Pass-throughs on every single deer dropped in their tracks, except actually, I had 1 bullet I recovered. It went through the whole deer. I caught it under the hide in the hind quarter. It was about 50% weight retention, but still penetrated over 3 feet of deer. So it seems like these 162s in the 7 mag are performing very similar to that. 28 inches with the ELD-X and the gel. There's a lot of penetration for a fragmenting type of bullet like this. So a lot of people hate these bullets. A lot of people love these bullets. If you go on Midway and look at the reviews, you get a mix of these bullets are great, they drop deer, or they explode and they suck. Cup and core separation. I've seen reviews on the 212 of people saying, and it's usually not the person, it's always like my buddy or my uncle shot a little doe in the shoulder and the bullet fragmented and didn't penetrate through, which I have a very hard time believing. When I did the test where I shot the deer shoulder with the 223, the 62 grain soft point, the Hornady soft point, that bullet fragmented when it hit the deer shoulder. And the fragment still went through the shoulder, I think 5 inches into the gel or so. And that's a 62 grain bullet. So if you think about a 162 grain bullet or a 212, those, even if the bullet did somehow shatter, there's a lot of mass and fragments that I think are going to blast right into the vitals and kill the animal. Will you get a blood trail at an exit wound? Maybe not, but you're going to get a dead animal. If it's something big like an elk and you hit it right in the shoulder, I still think it's making it to the vitals. Now that animal might run a distance with no blood and you could run into issues, but on whitetail, you're not going to have that problem. Hopefully this year I can use the 7 mag. Doing some hunting, I still don't know what bullet I want to use. The ELD-X and the ELD-M aren't shooting that good for me, but I'm also in the beginning of my load development, so hopefully I can get them shooting a little bit better. I'm going to try to do some distance tests next. I'm going to do some 300-yard gel shots, and then hopefully do a comparison with the 300 against the 7 mag and just see how they compare to each other. A lot of people think, you know, there's not a difference. They both do the same damage. Kind of have a hard time believing that because the 300's pushing a 40 grain bullet. You know, only 100 feet per second slower, but who knows? So, like always, guys, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.